Bucs free agency.
Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, good morning and welcome to a Thursday opening day edition of the JP Peterson Show, except for the Rays. They will be opening tomorrow, but we got plenty of Rays news to get to. The Gators will be playing at 7:39 tonight against Maryland in the Sweet 16. We'll be getting to that. We got Bucs news to get to. We've got breaking news in hockey. Our man Torts fired by the Flyers. Brings a tear to my eye. Love that, man.
He won't be long without a job if he wants one, though.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, well, it won't be in broadcasting.
No.
I don't think he's going to go back to broadcasting.
No.
Even though I thought he was great at it, I don't think people. I don't think those people had the stomach to hang out with Torts. Too much honesty. And I might even get into a little Stephen A. versus LeBron. Ooh. It's just too juicy. Timmy. Good morning to you, Tim Ham, from our affiliate, FanStream Sports Dallas. What's up, brother?
Good morning. Recovering from the sting on the hand, whatever it was. We talked about it on our show last night, the Colby 780 Car
Are you
Tim
still
show.
whining about that?
Dude, my hand the next day swelled up. Like when I showed it to Colby last night, I didn't tell him anything about it until we went on the air. And I'm sitting across the table from him, and I held up my hands like that. And he was like, he immediately went to the Google machine and started searching like murder hornets and stuff like that to see what the sting looked like. And we had a doctor texting our text line, and somebody a nurse comment. And she's like, you need to go to the hospital because if it's still there after that long, I'm like,
come on.
I mean, I've got two arms. If one falls off, I still got a spare. I'm good.
I think you'll be fine. I think you're going to be fine.
It doesn't hurt anymore.
I think I got stung by the same thing, and I just put tobacco on it. Tobacco and ice got the job done, and maybe the 12 beers I'd had previously in the gummy going through my system. But
I had a couple of people say
I recovered.
I had a couple of people say ice. I didn't have anybody say tobacco.
Yeah, tobacco takes the sting, the venom out of it, sucks the venom out of it, or
it's
something.
It's like putting your wet phone in a bowl of rice.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So try it. Get you some tobacco. Put it on there. All right. So we got all that to get to today, and of course it's opening day around baseball. The Rays delayed by a day to get their markings up all over Steinbrenner Field, and boy, did they ever!
Yeah.
I mean, it looks fantastic. As we had predicted, I said this a couple weeks ago. Wait till the Rays go into the Yankees clubhouse. I mean, I've been, in the Rays clubhouse, and it's as generic and blah as you could possibly get. No frills. This one is brand new that they built at Steinbrenner Field. And again, we have a moratorium on the show. We do not call it a minor league ballpark like everybody else wants to call it. Steinbrenner Field is anything but a minor league ballpark. It is big league in every way. It's except the seats. I get it. Except the capacity. Everything else is major league about it. And you talk about the things that really matter to the players, the clubhouse facilities, the dining facilities, the training facilities, absolutely off the charts, light years better than what Sternberg gives them at Tropicana Field. They don't, and trust me, they do not want to go back to that dump. The clubhouse is absolutely insane. You got some of the pictures.
You want to do it now?
And I thought, let's go. Let's jump right into it because oh my god! And look how they've transformed. I'm gonna give the Rays a lot of credit for all the work that they put into transforming this into something that really, really feels like the Rays. Home of the Rays might be a little over the top.
I mean, if you're going to go all out, right?
I guess, right?
Because it is the home of the Rays right now.
It is the home of the Rays. Yeah. I don't know, like if I rent a property, do I put up a big sign out front said, home of JP? But anyway.
Hey, if you're paying rent on it, it's your home.
Damn right. This is great. It says thank you, Yankees underneath. That's pretty awesome right there.
Yep.
The markings outside. I remember when this first was announced, everybody was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna have the Yankees gears all up." I'm like, calm down. They're cover up all the Yankee stuff. They're gonna make it look like the Rays' home. It's gonna be wonderful. And look at this. It is. It absolutely is. It looks fantastic. All the markings.
Now, the only thing in this picture that I see is the end plates on the seats.
Yeah,
it looks like it still has, but maybe they just hadn't got to those yet, or if they're gonna, they may not do anything with those. I don't know.
I think they might probably cover because that's an easy sticker on top thing. And of course, if any of this bothers you, like George Steinbrenner Field, I mean, please just
It's the name of the stadium.
Stop. I mean, stop. It's ridiculous.
However, if you're not a fan of the Starburst, you're not going to be a fan of the markings on the stadium because they went full Starburst.
I know. It's ugly. It's stupid. It's ugly. It's give me some Devil Ray. I know it's Starburst everywhere. Wouldn't a big purple and Devil Ray look a hell of a lot better than that stuff? But we're not going to quibble. Nice TB over the NY. So I guess you're going to see those all over the seat things as well.
Right.
That looks great. You know, and these pictures are not the finished product.
No.
So yeah, they did a great job. It's going to feel like the Rays' home. The scoreboard as well. It's really, really nicely done. The Rays did a great job and a logistical insanity that this must have been to figure out and get all this stuff printed and made in 3 months. And then get it up in 3 days. They did one hell of a job.
And JP, maybe the most curious feature of all of the little mini remodeling that they did was in the visitors' locker room.
Oh my God!
Where they posted a picture of the roof of the Trop.
What is that? Why would you do that?
I don't know. This is from your buddy over at Channel 13. Posted this last night, and it's just a picture of the torn up roof of the Trop, and it's in the visitors' locker room.
Was this maybe so they could all bow down to the reason why they're not playing at the slop anymore?
I don't know. They should just say, this is why you're here.
We'd like to thank Hurricane Milton for getting us out of that crappy stadium so we can play on real grass and not injure ourselves and have a full house and have an incredible vibe. I mean, I think it's going to be amazing. You know, I hear all these people on Twitter and see them all like, oh, wait till the summer. There'll be 5,000 people there. It's going to be hot and it's going to be rainy. It's like, man, when did the pussification of America get to this level? I mean, you can't. I mean, we grew up playing baseball outside.
Yeah.
None of us died. None of us died. Now, listen. Do I want to spend $2,000 for 3-4 tickets? Outside. I get it. But last night, it was funny. Yesterday, I'm on the Rays ticket text change to get the $20 tickets and the offers. So they put it out at like I think 2:00 yesterday, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm on it. Let me see. So what time did it start?
I mean, as far as the heat goes, though, while you're looking that up, look, they play baseball in Atlanta outside. It's hot. They sell out. Yeah. Here in Texas, we didn't have a roof on a stadium and air conditioning for 50 years, and they still sold 3.5 million tickets every season.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's not always comfortable, but dude, if you love baseball, and you will love outside baseball if you've never seen it because it is amazing.
Yeah. Like Lonnie Wilkins says right here, I'm ready to burn at Steinbrenner and drink some beer, eat some food, and have a good time. If they don't want Florida to be hot, they can move by Wrigley and bitch about crowds like those people do. Yeah, man, it's like it's a baseball game. It's outside. You're drinking beer. Yeah. Hey, wear some shorts and a tank top. Get near a fan. Figure it out. It's nighttime.
Sunscreen.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're going to be in the sun. The games are going to be played at night, 7:30. Okay. I mean, and most of the games are going to be in April and May when it's going to be nice.
Yeah.
Not going to be that many, they've ticked it down a little bit. Just stop effing complaining. My God, just go to the damn games and enjoy yourself. Parking, traffic. It's going to be hard. It's going to be batting practices. It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be. Go up and drink a beer. Golly, shut
And if
up.
your kid's complaining, give them a sip of your beer.
Right, exactly.
That's how we always handled it.
Rub some whiskey on there.
On their bee sting.
That's right, on their bee sting. So yesterday, they at 3:45, they put out the text: Rays rush tickets for opening weekend just dropped. Get yours before they sell out. And so I clicked on it and spent about 35, 40 minutes trying to get tickets, and it wouldn't go through.
Oh, no.
So at 5:40, they text out, technical difficulties solved.
Oh, no.
Get your $20 Rays rush tickets now.
Do over.
So I popped on there and got a couple of the standing room only for $20. So that's good. You know, the Rays made those available. So I hope some people took advantage of that and got those tickets. So you can get some SROs, which I'm not exactly sure where the SROs are, like where the areas are. But that's all going to be fun place to figure out. They've got some really cool areas at Steinbrenner. If you've never been, they got the Tiki Bar in right field. They've got a left field bar as well. I've probably added a lot of other points of sale and some other different things. It's going to be a really, really cool vibe. I can't wait. Now, I'm going away this weekend for a wedding in San Antonio, then a little skiing next week. So I won't be able to partake this first week. But as soon as I get back, I'm definitely going to get in there and see what it's all about. But we have plenty of on-site reporters that will be there tomorrow and be reporting back to us on Monday's show. So it'll be fun. I cannot wait to see what the vibe is like, and I think the fans are just going to absolutely love it. And we're not gonna talk about stadium or sale or any of that shit as we move through to today and tomorrow, unless you guys bring it up. So there you go.
You know, interestingly, JP, on StubHub, when you go to the standing room only tickets, it doesn't highlight any section inside the stadium. So it doesn't tell you where they are. Like every other sections, if you highlight the price and stuff, it'll tell you exactly where the seat is. But on SRO, it doesn't even highlight a section for you. So I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It'll probably be outside the stadium.
It's out in the parking lot.
Standing room only? Yeah, that's on Dale Mabry. Yeah. Thank you for your money.
It's over at Ray J. They're going to put it on the TV.
Get at the top three of the 300s and look over. That's the standing room only.
It's hysterical.
Oh my God! Yeah. All right. So it looks great. The players, I think one of them, Palacios, went into it. Said this place is dope. I've never seen anything like it. They're gonna absolutely love the Yankees clubhouse and love every part of it. And can you imagine? Can you imagine them repairing the Trop after this season, playing in this place, outdoors, full houses, all the vibe, going back to a mold-infested, half-baked, barely repaired Trop, because the city's not going to go out of its way to make it nice. Why would they? They're going to do the bare minimum. If they have to, they're going to do the absolute bare minimum. And then the Rays will have to chip in to do anything that they want extra. Can you imagine the players, after living in that Taj Mahal, having to go back to the basic Tropicana Field stuff? No, absolutely not. I don't see it.
And look, there's two major league teams this season playing in so-called minor league parks, right? The Athletics up in Scrotumento and the Rays. And if you look at Sutter Health Park, where the A's are playing, and they're not even branding themselves as the Sacramento A's. They're simply the Athletics this year. There's no city designation for them.
Wow.
Which is weird, right? Like they didn't take on the name of the city that's hosting them for the next, 2 or 3 years or however long it is. That stadium was built in 2000. It's a relatively new stadium, and it is a dump. Like it doesn't look any better to me than where they came from and in Oakland. But I mean, when you compare that to what the Rays are playing in, dude, it is night and day. I mean, y'all don't know how fortunate you have to have that stadium, number one, available to you to use, and that's right there in town, like right where everybody is. And I'm so excited for Rays baseball this season.
It really, it's interesting that you say that. It is a godsend. It really is for us to be able to have this park. And And I don't know what the next few years hold. Maybe they do repair the trop. I think that's a horrible idea, but I'll still stick to the idea that they can play here for 3 years while a new stadium is being built. I know it's not exactly what the Yankees want, but I really don't see a huge problem here. I mean, we're displacing a single A team, Florida State League team that gets 500 fans. I mean, honestly, that stadium, as good as it is and as awesome as it is completely underutilized. It really is. I mean, for what the Yankees put into it, I mean, that clubhouse alone is a couple $1,000,000, and they only use it for a month, 6 weeks a year. I mean, that's crazy. Think
They
about
got
that.
Yankees money.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. I mean, it's a shame actually that it's not used more, and it will be used way more this year. And I think for 3 years, yeah, why a lot of the different things that they can do to add some more seats. I think they're saying capacity is just over 10,000, but they can get to I would think probably 13, 14, 15,000 if they add a few seats in the outfield. So yeah, I think it's going to be a tremendous situation for the Rays on the field. In terms of being able to play it outdoors and on grass, it's going to be a lot less wear and tear on their bodies. And I think they're going to perform better. I really, really do. I think they're going to perform better with the vibe going on.
Can you see me right now?
I cannot see you.
I can't either. My thing won't go up on the screen. Like it went away.
Yeah, you've gone away.
What the heck just happened here?
As long as they can hear me, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here. I don't know why. I can't. What the heck's going on?
Let me plug in mine as well, so we don't go totally off the air. Remember that.
Right.
Let's get to some of the baseball. Richie Palacios is going to be out a couple of weeks. Oh darn! And they're bringing up Cam Meisner, who was 0 for 14, his first 14 in the major leagues last year. And when he got called up at the end of the year, finally got a single. So 1 for 15 last year. Christopher Morel, DeLuca, Josh Lowe will be your outfielders, and Meisner. Again, when you're kind of depending on Morel and DeLuca to add some offense, that could be troublesome. But those guys are going to have to pick up the slack. Whether we're going to see some changes. I mean, there were some interesting guys that were let go. Maybe the Rays are looking at to add to their offense. We'll see. But I think this roster is going to be very much in flux during the year, very much in flux. But Ryan Pepio obviously will get the opening day start with Shane McClanahan on the shelf for Lord knows how long with the triceps nerve injury. He was put on the injured list, the 10-day injured list to start. So we really don't know, as far as the severity of what's going on with Shane McClanahan. Lonnie Wilkins says Hunter Biggie is the real piece in that Morel trade. Let's hope so. Let's hope it's not Morel. Give up a 30 home run guy for Christopher Morel, who doesn't look, he just had a very uneven spring. He had a couple of moments, but I'm not expecting much from him except a lot of swing and miss. So I think that whole outfield thing is going to be very much in flux. When we see Chandler Simpson, I don't know. I think they want him to have a couple of, maybe months at AAA because he's not played at that level yet. Maybe see a little bit better pitching. And he's got to, this is his first year playing outfield, I believe, as well. So he's got to get used to playing center field. And you don't want to, one of the big reasons you don't want to bring him up right away. So from a positional standpoint, this team is going to be average offensively, hopefully. Hopefully they're not second worst in the league only to the Chicago White Sox like they were last year. I don't think they will be. I think some of these guys have to regress to the mean upwards because last year was just such a disaster. So it's going to be fun. I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait to see how the Rays play there. And I know you guys are excited as well. Rick says, so Rays and Stu are coming to Tampa and JP has to go for a week and a half. Sounds like the Stu restraining order is in effect. Yes, I guess it is. Lonnie says, just like Prime says, you look good, you feel good, you play good. When you play good, they pay good. Well, another team will pay you good. That's right. Another team will pay you good. Let me see what else we got here. Lonnie says he can see you on YouTube. for whatever reason.
I don't know what's happening with the camera situation here. That's all right.
Airwolf says, I need better sign ideas to trash Stu. Well, the problem is you can't say anything derogatory about Stu or they're going to take your sign. So I think you have to do like backhanded compliments. Like, hey, Stu, go take a lavish vacation for a couple decades. With that,
there you go.
Right? We'd like to treat you to a new place in Citi Field, right? So you're buying him something, you're treating him, but I don't know. You got to be clever. Lonnie Wilkins says this is like a post-divorce party for the Rays, and then experiencing some smoking hot baseball. Now they've got a taste they won't ever want to go back. Yeah, of course. Once you get a taste of the really good stuff, once you've had a great IPA, how do you go back to Bud Light? You just can't.
Yeah.
You taste a Coors Light after having a real beer, and you're like, whoa, what is that?
The only time I can go back to Miller Lite is when I'm shotgunning beers. I'm not going to shotgun an expensive beer.
Yes.
That's just me.
Well, you don't want to shotgun an IPA, that's for sure.
No.
That could be troublesome.
Or a stout.
Daniel Rivera says, on the field, I think the Rays, if healthy, can win 90 to 92 games. Yeah. I think it's going to be an interesting season. I think they can win 78. I think they can win 98. Without offense, it could be 78. With the pitching, it could be 98. It's probably somewhere in between, obviously. B says JP was scalping those $20 tickets on Dale Mabry. Actually, before then, hopefully. I got them to give away to some clients, and someone's saying that they're non-transferable.
Oh no,
so that would
be weird. Yeah, why would they do that?
I don't know. Like the $10 tickets last year, I said they said they're non-transferable. Rick says these same people complaining will drive to Disney or Gainesville and spend all day in the sun and spends $15 for drinks. Quit your bitching. You played Little League in the sun and go to the beach. Yeah, we do. We do stuff outdoors all the time. Do people say, "Oh, I'm not going to the beach. It's too hot there"? No. I know you can jump in the water. I get it, but you can find shade. And like I said, most of the games are going to be at night. So, hello, Tim Hand, man with the swollen hand. Yes,
it's right there.
Parking will be interesting when the Bucs schedule comes out. Again, like how many conflicts? Because they use the Raymond James parking lot for baseball as well.
Well, they're not going to be playing at the same time.
September. Preseason game, September. I think they'll avoid the scheduling snafus.
Yeah.
And it might even be, night games, day games, stuff like that. So problems that we really don't need to, we'll figure it out.
First world problems.
We'll figure it out. I don't think we're going to have a simultaneous game. I don't think they're dumb enough to do that.
By the way, JP, the current over-under on Rays wins for this season, 81.5.
Yeah, I'm going over that. I'm going to go over that.
Too.
I think it's going to be a pretty easy over, too.
I think I would, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're calling the move most of them are calling the move to Steinbrenner a distraction. And they think it's going to take away from the team, playing most of the games, loaded at the front of the schedule. All of those are distractions. And I don't get that. I don't think that's a distraction at all.
No. I mean, if you come to work and your clubhouse looks like that, isn't that a performance enhancing drug?
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, dude, if you went to work every day and you're like, God, this place is a shithole, or you went in and you went, oh my God, I'm inspired by this Taj Mahal clubhouse we have, right? I mean, right? I mean, I would think.
Is Michael LaRue serious here? The font they use for Rays looks, are you kidding me?
He's complaining about the font.
Are you serious? Like, which one is he talking about? Like, where?
Maybe the
wrong one.
Very verklempt.
Like a little verklempt. What are you talking about, dude?
Michael LaRue's a little complaint. I read somewhere that the NFL is making the nose swipe a penalty.
You know what? Good. I'm so sick of that.
I'm so sick of everything being a penalty. Can we stop with the ridiculous? Oh, I think that was a gun symbol. We can't have that.
No, I hate that.
Which was a critical call in a playoff game. Had Jalen McMillan not scored on the next play, we might still be talking about it.
You can't do the throat slash. You can't do the guns. And now every time CeeDee Lamb makes a freaking first down, he can't go.
Well, so what?
By the way, I hate that. But
why does it have to be a penalty?
I don't know. It's dumb.
Can
we not do discount double check anymore?
I don't know. That? Like, it's like it goes back to the Key and Peele skit that was. Yeah. Have you ever seen that? You know, two pelvic thrusts. Okay, 3 pelvic thrusts. That's a flag.
Yeah, you're out.
And the ref's like looking at him as he does one pump.
Right.
Pump, and he's like,
he's looking at him.
Because that's crossing the line.
Yep.
That's crossing
15 yards.
It's so ridiculous.
You did see some of the rules changes though that are proposed that are probably happening, right? The kickoff.
Well, which one did they change for kickoff?
So they're changing the kickoff, the touchback from the 30 to the 35. They think it'll encourage more teams to not do the touchback because a lot of teams are okay. Excuse me. A lot of teams are okay conceding the 30, but they don't think they'll concede the 35. Yeah. Plus, they're going to allow maybe an onside kick at any point in the game if the team is behind, rather than only in the second half or the fourth. I guess it was the fourth quarter. But I still think you do away with that and you do the 1st and 20 from the 25 or whatever, or the 4th and 20 from the 25. That's your onside kick.
Yeah. Here's from Airwolf says, from a reliable source, Friday did not sell out. Rays held back many, many tickets and are selling them below face value on StubHub to make it appear sold out. It will be fully. I don't believe that for a second. I mean, come on. I don't know what this I don't even know what to call this movement on Twitter there that people are just, Tampa won't support it. They didn't sell out. They didn't sell this. They're not selling this. And that can be. I mean, let's just wait. I'll put it out there again for every crowd under 10,000, I'll give you $100. For every crowd over 10,000, you give me $100. I'll make that pledge. I mean, it's just, I think there's going to be, of course, you can't trust the Rays but I can get the real attendance numbers. I don't have to trust the Rays. So yeah, I think it's going to be a huge success. Tickets wise, let's just wait and see before everybody loses their mind about what's sold out and what's not sold out. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like this. Are the Rays saying 10K is a sellout, 11K is capacity? I mean, it's listed at 11,000 at capacity, little over 11,000, and that's supposedly not with standing room only. So who knows? Who knows? Are we going to get the real numbers? Well, we'll see. Daniel Rivera says, I'm still saying JP now. Again, let me preface this by saying Stu is the big wild card. I think we're going to have new Tampa-based owners by the All-Star break at the earliest. Again, a lot of people are hitting me up for this. I'll just say what I've said many, many times. When is it happening? Is it soon? Is it imminent? I mean, who really knows when Stu's the one that's going to be pulling the trigger? I'll tell you what I've told you all along. There is at least one Tampa-based group and probably more that have the money to make this deal happen. They are offering $400 million more than the team is worth. At least, probably $600 million more than the team is worth. MLB has vetted at least one of these groups and is fully supporting that group. They have a plan to build a stadium in Tampa that will work. A framework has already been discussed in terms of public and private funds and who funds what. Not a deal, but a framework. So in Major League Baseball, everything is in place to make this happen. The only wild card is Stu Sternberg. And how we can, and how they can pressure him to make the deal happen. And as we reported yesterday, there are clearly legal documents that are now being, as we said yesterday, there was a document request put on Pinellas County and St. Pete. We know the law firm. We don't know if the Rays hired them or who did it. But somebody's doing public records requests to see what's going on with the Phillies and the Rays, hurricane relief, all different kind of stuff. Is it the Rays? I don't know. Maybe it is. So all this stuff adds up to delay. And can Stu hold out? Is the price going to go up? Is it going to go down? I mean, there aren't a lot of positive things happening in baseball in terms of teams' values going up. I mean, losing ESPN, the fact that their local television deals are very much in flux. There's cost of building stadiums is obviously going up. It ain't going down. So people can say all they want that there's hundreds of cities out there that have billions of dollars that want to build baseball stadiums and pay for baseball teams. But when it gets down to writing the check, it's a whole different deal. So I still think the money says it works in Tampa. The people want to do it. Major League Baseball wants them to do it. They want to stay in this market. You can point to isolated comments or things here and there about other places. The predominant discussion is about getting it done in Tampa. Occam's razors. The most obvious choice is the right choice, and that's the obvious choice. So I'm sticking to it. That's where I think it's all going. Everything is in place to make it happen. When it happens, that's up to Stu at this point, or how much pressure MLB can bring to bear to make him sell. And there is precedent. Vince Navoli, they made him sell. Took a while, but it happened. So, all right, let's hit a break. I want to also welcome in a couple of new advertisers. Riveters is now the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. I was over there this week. It's the Gator Club happening spot. They were watching the Gators play basketball. They'll be watching the Gators play basketball tonight at 7:30. That's where the Gator Club will be at Riveters. They'll have tons of specials going on. And, folks, their food is absolutely fantastic. They make everything fresh. No freezers except for their ice cream. The burgers are fresh. The wings are fresh. The chicken fingers are cut daily and battered. They don't come on a truck. It really, really makes a difference. The food is awesome. And the drink specials are fantastic all the time at Riveters. Happy hour 3 to 7. You can get $3.50 Bud Light drafts and $5 well drinks. And that's some of the really good stuff that you drink every day. Riveters, right there on Dale Mabry, just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field. Great place to pre and post game. So welcome aboard, Riveters, the new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. Back in 3.
Hurricane Helene put a hurting on Tampa Bay, and for many of you, the rebuild will be a long process. You must beware of unscrupulous contractors offering up quick fixes for incredible prices. It's a scam. So go with long-standing, reputable companies like Third Generation Plumbing and AC. My friend John Rodriguez has been serving Tampa Bay since 1995 with hundreds of 5-star reviews. If you need a new AC system or any home repairs from Helene, they will work with insurance companies to get you taken care of quickly, expertly installed, of course, and a 1-year maintenance plan and 10-year warranty included on all AC units. 0% financing for 60 months. Contact them at thirdgenerationplumbing.com or 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So many of our Tampa Bay neighbors are finding out the hard way from Hurricane Helene that homeowners insurance does not cover flood damage. You must have flood insurance. It's a separate policy. Immediately call Italiano Insurance at 813-877-7799, and they will shop around to find the best policy before rates go up. Lock it in. Over 60% are underinsured in Florida, or you're not getting your discounts that you're entitled to. So do an insurance checkup at Italiano, and they could save you thousands of dollars. Italiano will make sure you're with a highly rated insurer, so there are no surprises in your time of need. Our hearts go out to all our neighbors devastated by Helene. These are the times we're proud to protect all the pieces of your life. Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite. I love it. So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at On-Site Construction, one of our new advertisers as well. If you're looking to remodel your home or build a new home, or you have a commercial space that you want to remodel or build a new commercial space, they do it all. And they have tons of 5-star reviews at On-Site Construction. So go to their website, onsiteconstructionfl.com. You'll see all the different pictures of the things that they've done. Over 1,450 satisfied customers, over 500 designs, 25 years of experience at On-Site Construction. They do a tremendous job. Just check out all the reviews, on time and on budget. So if you're thinking about it, you want to know what the possibilities are, they'll meet with their design team. They'll do a free meeting with you and show you what they can do. So if you've been thinking about adding on to your home or building a new home from the ground up, that's the place to go. OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Great folks over there. All right. Let me get to a couple more comments here real quick. We got a hockey game tonight, by the way.
Yep. Utah.
The Utah Utes are in town. They still don't have a name. Mike Stover says, I think Utah should retain the Coyote name and color scheme.
Well, it's not the same franchise. They're not. They did not relocate from Arizona to Utah. Utah is technically an expansion team, and the guy that owned the Coyotes retained all of their branding, their history, their records, but now he has since given up ownership to the league, which means it's just now it's gone. It no longer exists. The Utah club is not the old Coyotes. It's a brand new franchise.
So have they settled on a new name yet? The Mammoths, I thought, were kind of leaked out there. Are they going to just go with
didn't they do
Utah
a vote?
Hockey Club? Yeah, I thought they did a vote.
So they had 3 finalists: Utah Mammoth, vomit;
Right.
Utah Outlaws, vomit; and Utah Hockey Club, meh. But they haven't.
I like the Mammoths. What's wrong with the Mammoths?
It's not the Mammoths, though. It's just mammoth, like one mammoth. I guess mammoth is plural and singular. I don't know. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
A lot of good logo possibilities, though. A lot of good, you got dinosaur things going on there. A mammoth is powerful and strong, and a lot of good visuals there, So,
well, they did decide. So they had in January, they announced that they decided on the Utah Yetis. That was refused by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office because of Yeti, because of the cups, whatever that company.
Yeah.
And Utah was even trying to brand with the company, like saying, "Hey, let's just, y'all can sponsor the club or what," and they were like, "No, we're good."
That's it, and that's a local. I think is that a local company? No, that's the other Tumblr one. I think we have down here. Yeah, I like Yetis. That'd have been a lot of good stuff there.
So I don't know. They haven't decided on anything after that.
Well, the Fighting Sergies will be in town tonight at Amalie Arena.
The Mammoths.
So, the Mammoths, the Fighting Sergies. We'll just call them that.
Did you know that they're also using the same mascot as the Utah Jazz? Like literally the same exact the Jazz Bear. That's their mascot. Yeah, they didn't even get a new mascot. We'll just use the same one that our basketball team's using. That's their team mascot this year.
That's weak. That's very weak sauce.
Yeah.
We could have come up with something different. Just go put on the suit in the closet.
Put on a Yeti outfit.
Get an intern and throw him whatever.
A Bigfoot costume.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap, I must say. Yeah, so Sergey returns tonight. I guess he's leading the league in ice time. He's their true number one defenseman now. I think he's like a -13 or -12. I hadn't looked lately. But there'll be a big tribute for him in the first period. So I will not be there tonight as I am taking off, and it's Women's History Night. So we'll have the ladies doing all our jobs as we normally do once a year. Pretty cool thing. So Elise Zwick from Channel 13 will be handling my duties tonight. She was in the other day just to kind of I was showing her the ropes, show her how to all the stuff and how when they keep yelling in your ear and screaming in your ear while you're trying to talk, how hard it is. But she'll be fine with it. She'll do a great job. Absolutely. Here's something that's definitely going to happen, boys. We have a JP tailgate show before a game at Steinbrenner. Yes. We're going to do many of them, and they're going to be at Riveters.
Nice.
A really cool indoor-outdoor bar there, and they have a nice little stage that has a 50 cal machine gun on it. You know, it's a Rosie the Riveter's theme over there, so it's kind of World War II.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'll have a figurative machine gun. It's not loaded though, so B, you can show up, and I won't shoot you, but I'll pretend to shoot you.
Wait, how many people under the age of 50? Do you think know who Rosie the Riveter is?
Let's do a poll. How many of you, most of the folks listening here are probably.
Without looking it up, do you know who Rosie the Riveter is?
I mean, I do.
And I do too. But kids that are like in their 20s, maybe there's no way they know at all who that is.
They're supposed to be taught this in U.S. history class. But they don't. But I'm told they don't even teach D-Day anymore. So if they're not teaching D-Day, which is just like the most ridiculous thing, the most important battle in the history of the world. But we don't teach that anymore. Why is that? Because the Americans were successful. It's pro-America. It's patriotic. Some of the greatest heroes in the history of the world fought on the greatest generation. We don't want to teach D-Day now. Yes, because we don't want to teach American excellence. We don't want to teach anything about how America saved the world from tyranny. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about that.
Hey, Texas history here. They didn't teach my kids anything about the Alamo, which was a staple of my history growing up in Texas. We have a whole year of Texas history in school here. And he said they mentioned the Alamo like one day. They read a paragraph about it in their electronic books. They don't even have books anymore. Everything's on their Chromebooks.
But what if they're not teaching the Alamo in Texas history? What the hell are they teaching?
Yeah, well, I mean that's where Texas history started. Like, where do you start with Texas history if it's not there? It's ridiculous. I don't know.
I think they would love to teach that because we took an L that day. Took a big L.
Big time L.
USA took a big L right there, which is kind of interesting. Like that's a big part of the Texas history. Yeah. In fact, I will be at the Alamo tonight.
Oh, that's right.
I will be at the Alamo tonight.
Just don't pee on it.
I'm going to take the lovely Ashley by to see the Alamo. I had this is old head boomer story alert coming. So I had this record when I was growing up. It was the story of Daniel Boone.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett, yeah.
Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Oh God, I can remember the whole song. He killed a bear when he was only 3. Davy Crockett. Yeah, that's boomer alert. And I played that record all the time. I can remember putting the needle down, scratchy, you know, and it was like a radio play telling the story of Davy Crockett and the Alamo.
Did yours have the picture book that went with it? Because I had one just like that.
Yes.
You just turn the page as the thing goes. Yeah. Yep.
These kids must be laughing their ass off.
Yeah.
A record player and a picture book. Yes. And that's how we learned history, and history came alive that way.
I had a Star Wars album that told the story on record with a picture book where I could, because I was 7 when that came out, right? That was right in my wheelhouse. So I put on my record, my Star Wars record, and I could turn the page when the story changed. It was great, man.
Yeah. It would be a little signal that would go ding, and it would turn the page. Turn the page, yeah. So I learned the story of the Alamo, and then, of course, the great 1960 movie, The Alamo, was fantastic.
Yeah.
Then there was the remake.
John Wayne.
With the great, John Wayne was in the original. And, who played the guy that played Davy Crockett was, what's it?
In the new one?
Series. And no, in the old one. And then there was the great Patrick Wilson, a friend of the show, Paul's brother, that played in the new Alamo. That was
right.
He played the captain there at the Alamo. Anyway,
right.
Great history, American history, true heroes. When heroes were heroes, not the heroes we call today. So there's a little tangential history lesson for you kids today. So yes, we are going to do many tailgate parties at Riveters. So it's not. I guess that's not a tailgate party. That's just a pregame party.
Yeah, pregamer.
Because God forbid we be out there in the heat.
Is it air conditioned in the parking lot?
National tailgate, right? Poor people will melt. Rick says obviously Rosie the Riveter was racist. What?
Because she was female, or because she was white?
Because she's been erased from our history because she was racist.
They're bringing all that back, by the way.
Yeah, I hope
Man and Aunt Jemima are going to make a comeback.
Last time I went home to Hollywood, I went by my old house and I look up at the street sign. I used to live on Lee Street, named after Robert E. Lee.
Not anymore.
I was like, what the F is this? What street is this? I'm like, did they really change?
Did they rename it to Grant Street?
I don't know. No, because we already have a Grant Street.
That was already Grant.
So I forget what they renamed it to, like
wow,
Rainbows or something. Rainbow Street. I don't know what it was, but but Lee Street could not have Lee Street. Like 90% of the people didn't even know who Lee was.
Right.
Like, God. Fess Parker. Yes, Fess Parker played the role of Davy Crockett. Fess Parker, who was also in a famous Western TV show, which was what? The Rifleman? No, that was Chuck Connors. Oh, God, we're getting way in the deep. So, by the way, are you going to tell people who Rosie the Riveter was? And was not a racist, as far as we know.
Rosie the Riveter was the poster woman for World War II for the war effort. She was I'd put a poster up of her. I mean, everybody probably knows the poster. They just don't know. I'll put a picture of it. It's a famous.
So Rosie the Riveter was, the women went to work in the factories because obviously the men were fighting the war. Yeah. So they were credited with helping win the war in a great way because it was American industry that really won World War II because we could make more tanks, more planes, more ships than anybody. And we overwhelmed our enemies with our munitions and the weapons that we could make. Right. And of course, that begot there she is, Rosie the Riveter. Yes, Rosie the Riveter.
The older I get, the hotter she is.
Right? She's kind of hot in the eyes for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Rosie, come on. Yeah.
Rosie the Riveter.
She's got the sleeves rolled up. She's ready to get into it. Yeah.
Got the heavy mascara on.
Yeah. Woo, Rosie.
That's Rosie the Riveter. Not Rosie the Robot from the Jetsons. It's Rosie the Riveter. Which,
by the way, also was an iconic figure in my childhood.
Mine too.
Yeah. And by the way, where's my flying car? Where's my flying car? It's 2025. I was promised a flying car.
They promised.
Where is my flying car? Hate you, oil companies. Come on.
By the way, that's still a very popular. I don't know how very popular it is, but it's still I still see that her costume like around Halloween. Some women still dress up as Rosie the Riveter for Halloween.
That is old school. Old school. John Hill says the Army had Iowa farmers be tank drivers in World War II. Yeah, of course. They know how to drive those things. Absolutely.
By the way, Fess Parker born in Fort Worth, Texas. Just throwing that out there for you.
There we go. We need a JP the Riveter. We can move it poster. We can move it poster. Move it to Tampa. Yes, absolutely. 100%. All right. So we do have hockey tonight. Sergey is in town. There'll be a big video tribute for him, Mikhail Sergachev, and we'll thank him for bringing us Jake Gensel, JJ Moser, and Connor Geeky. So thank you for that. And listen, I think this is a little payback game. We lost 6-4 there last week. Lightning were very inconsistent in their defensive coverage in that game. What we talked about, did they fix it after Tuesday's game? Yes, I hope so, because they played tremendously well against the Penguins. Now, the Pens, obviously, they were playing well coming in. They were 5-1-1, but they were held to 8 shots in the first 2 periods, just 8 shots. As the Lightning scored 4 goals in less than 4 minutes in the first period, never looked back. What do I want to see tonight? I want to see consistency. I want to see consistency in, especially defensively, no odd man rushes, no guys left open right in front of Vasi. So let's take care of that, continue that. And I said this yesterday, Timmy, or on Tuesday. We got to. I think winning the division is worthy. I think it's worthy. Years past, we've like, meh, whatever. I think the way the Lightning have played at home this year, especially since January 1st, 14-2-1, they want to have Game 7, especially at home, and get off to a good start in the series. If you can start a series 2-0, I think that's 75, 80% chance you're going to win the series. So take care of business at home. They've done a great job in winning cups by not being the top seed and stealing that game and getting that home ice advantage. But listen, this year they've just been so much better at home than they've been on the road. I think they're 1 game under 500 on the road, and like I said, 14-2-1 since January 1st, which I think is second only to the Stars' home record. So go win the division. You're 2 points behind Toronto and the Panthers. You play them both down the stretch. At least the Panthers, I know we got one more game left with them. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. I think Cooper's kind of settled on the lines now. Yanni's probably going to center that third line. So I think that gives you a deeper 1 through 3 line, 3 really, really top lines. And then, the fourth line has been playing pretty well in terms of puck possession.
Yeah.
It's a great formula for winning in the playoffs. And the Lightning's metrics all over are top 5 to 7, almost every single category. So let's go. It started probably on Tuesday as far as this playoff sprint. And I think it does matter in terms of winning the division. I think if they can win 8 of these last 11, I think that'll get it done. And 6 of the last 11 are at home. So
yeah, and don't underestimate this Utah team. That I know they're new. They're over 500 on the road, though. They're a good road team. They're without Iginla. He's out, and from what I understand, Chernak's day to day, right? So we don't know the status of him,
right?
But Iginla's a big hit for them, and I tell you, it's weird when you get to be my age, JP. You'll know this. You've been watching hockey as long as you have, and I have. It's really weird seeing the son of a guy that you remember being drafted playing in the NHL.
Yeah.
Iginla's, of course, the son of Jerome Iginla, former Dallas Stars great. Traded him to Calgary for Joe Nieuwendyk.
Well, we remember Jerome Iginla from our first Stanley Cup win over the Calgary Flames, and Vinny Lecavalier famously fought him. I forget what game it was. That game 6? No, it might have been earlier in the series. But Vinny obviously wasn't known for fighting. And there had been a time like, in those years where we were like asking Vinny to, Vinny, you got to step up, you got to be that guy, you got to take, the superstars in this league put the team on their back and they take them to a championships. The Sidney Crosbys, those Vetchkin, those are the guys. Mike Badano, we need you to be that guy, and he stepped up and he fought Iginla, and he was that guy. In that 04 run, Vinny played. He was insanely good.
Yeah.
And it was, God, I remember just following that team to Calgary and being there for game 6, that double overtime Marty St. Louis goal that just took the air out of the building. And then, 2 days later, we're back on a Monday night for game 7. Oh, man, that was incredible. But Jerome Iginla was he was one hell of a player. One hell of a player.
Yeah, see, the Stars drafted him, like, I want to say right around the top 10, maybe just outside the top 10 in 95 in the entry draft. By December, they had sent the rights to him to Calgary for Joe Nieuwendyk, who was in a contract dispute with Calgary. He didn't want to play there anymore, which it ended up well for. It's one of those rare occasions where it's kind of at the time wasn't a blockbuster trade because he hadn't played yet in the NHL, so nobody really knew. But I mean, he became Calgary's captain. Nieuwendyk became the Stars' winning Stanley Cup goal scorer for in '99. So it worked out for both teams, but it was always weird. I always followed Iginla's career, just out of curiosity. But it worked out well for both teams. They're both in the Hall of Fame, Iginla and Nieuwendyk. And I remember when he played against you guys, and it was, I don't know. I miss '90s hockey. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's a different deal. And speaking of Vinny and Torts, Torts was relieved of his duties today. Brad Shaw, associate coach, will take over. I thought the Flyers put out a really nice Flyers GM Daniel. I don't know how to pronounce that. Brierge said, today I made the very difficult decision to move on from John as our head coach. John played a vital role in our rebuild. He set a standard of play and reestablished what it means to be a Philadelphia Flyer. John's passion on the bench was only equaled by his charitable work in our community. As we move into the next chapter of this rebuild, I felt this was the best thing for our team to move forward. I'd like to thank John for his tireless work and commitment to the Flyers. Very nicely done and well said. And people, I think, have this perception of Torts as this grumpy, a-hole of a guy, and he is that as a coach. There's no question about it. He's old school, but off the ice, he is as wonderful a human and warm human being as you will ever meet. He really is. He's I got to know him when he was here, and he's just a tremendous dude. Great family guy. Just a totally different persona when he's not coaching. And
did you hear the quote or see the quote that allegedly got him fired? Like the reason this is, I mean, I know they sucked this year, but so they lost to the Flyers.
Started really well.
Yeah, they lost to the Maple Leafs on Tuesday for their sixth straight loss. After the game, this is his quote: "When you're in this type of situation and you're losing all the time and there's nothing at the end of the tunnel for you, there's really going to be some frustration. But this falls on me. I'm not really interested in learning how to coach this type of season where we're at right now, but I have to do a better job. This falls on me getting the team prepared to play the proper way until we get to the end," end quote. So people took that as he's not interested in getting the team better because they suck. So they were like, oh, he's getting fired. And then the next day, here we are.
Yeah, that's not a great quote. I understand what he's saying. It's just, it gets to the point where the team, and it's just kind of been, Torts has a shelf life. He has a shelf life. There's no question about it. He kind of like John Gruden. These guys are high intensity people, man, and they wear your ass out. And if you're not mentally tough, and I just don't think the players today, the way they've been brought up, can handle guys like Torts. To be quite honest, I just don't think they can. It's a different type of deal. It's old school. It's, your feelings are not really considered. It's just you're here to play hockey, and I don't give a shit about anything else. And that's hard for a lot of guys to understand these days, quite frankly. So I love the dude. I think he's a tremendous coach, and I think there are what Briere said is absolutely 100%. You got to establish the toughness and the expectations of what it means to be a Philadelphia Flyer, and he did that. And that should carry on. Whoever inherits this team will inherit a certain toughness and a way to play the game that's going to benefit them moving forward. For them, hopefully they find a coach that maybe is a little better modern communicator. Does that sound,
maybe a more patient coach too?
Yeah.
A little more patience.
Yeah. So I think, if you're looking for some guy to set the standard and toughness of a hockey team, I'd hire John Tortorella in a heartbeat.
Sure.
But I understand that it's not, it's not for the weak-minded at all, for upper management and the players. Michael LaRue, good morning to you, said Pinellas County wants to reimburse the county for backing out of the stadium deal. Colleen Wright's story. Well, a couple days late. We've been talking about that for a week. Chris Lotzla brought that up earlier in the week. And they're totaling up the numbers right now to see what the cost was in terms of consultants, attorneys, staff hours, and I imagine the city's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be. Good morning, Tally. Hey, Tally.
Hi, Tally.
There you go. What's up, Tally? What's up, girl? What's up? Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody.
Jump in on the John Tortorella firing.
Oh, she loves torts. She loves torts. So that's kind of old news. And you know what? I'll be interested if what the Rays say.
Yeah.
And I'll be interested to see if there is some type of lawsuit that goes on.
Just that's all we need with all of this is just more litigation, right? That's just
and the document request, I'm sure, was, as Scott Chiefs told me, and he talked to some of his colleagues, sent it around, the legal circles, and they said there's not a whole lot of information to go on in the document request, but it's probably some type of intimidation. Yeah. We've told you that we're going to sue you if you keep doing this. So if here's a little shot over the bow. This is the first part of it, and it's a fishing expedition as well. Someone else told me that it's a very, very broad request. So broad that you don't really have to answer it, that you can ask them to narrow the scope of what you're looking for, because that was like extremely broad request. But that's also used in terms of, intimidation to say you're going to have to spend some attorney's fees on this stuff. So settle with us now, whoever these people are. We don't know if it's the Rays requesting it or not, but we just know it's what law firm it's coming from. So, yeah. All right, let's take one more break. We'll come back on the other side, and I want to get to some Bucs stuff as people are looking at their free agency moves. How did they do? I think they did great. Mock drafts are out, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And what else we got? Oh, a little basketball. Let's get into the games today that are coming up. We got some really good matchups in March Madness, so all that and more when we come back. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Match Madness continues. Buy a $500 gift card, get a $500 gift card for free. It's BOGO. So if you've been looking, you're going to need a graduation gift coming up. That's a good idea, right? $500 gift card. If you got two people graduating, that works really well, right? Two $500 gift cards. So it's that time of year. Go to the Gold and Diamond Source and get that. If you're looking to pop the question, of course, there's no other place to go than the Gold and Diamond Source. 3800 Overton Road, always online at thegoldanddiamondsource.com. Match Madness is on. Go get it. Back in 3.
Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com. Hey guys, February's birthstone is amethyst, a stunning purple gem that symbolizes peace, protection, tranquility, and sincerity. Celebrate her birthday or your 6th and 17th wedding anniversaries with an unforgettable amethyst gift. And of course, for over 40 years, the Golden Diamond Source has been Tampa Bay's most trusted name in fine jewelry. We only sell natural diamonds. If it's real love, it should be a real natural diamond. Don't get a fake. The Golden Diamond Source first-time buyer program will help you learn about the 4 C's, what style, shape, and color works best for you and your unique style. Folks, it's the best customer service. They make it so easy for you, and they're not going to push you into something that you cannot afford. 0% financing for up to 5 years. If you finance $5,000, it's only $83 a month. Also, you can turn your old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. With gold prices soaring, there's no better time to trade up. So get that old jewelry and bring it on in. You know where, the Golden Diamond Source, 3800 Omerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Pearson Show here on this Thursday, getaway Thursday for me, heading to San Antonio for my niece's wedding. A little out on the slopes in Colorado next week, so we will be bringing you the JP Peterson Show from the 4 o'clock run in Breckenridge, Colorado, where in 2019, or was it 2020, we actually broke the Tom Brady coming to Tampa Bay story. So we'll relive that next week at the same counter where we did that show that day. It's pretty cool. All right, we got a little bit of basketball coming up today. Your Texas Tech team playing tonight. You're very excited about them?
Man, this run that they've been on is quite impressive. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think they had this in them.
I don't know anything about this team. Tell me a little bit about them. As they play Arkansas, the Calipari's Arkansas Razorbacks at 10 o'clock. That'll be the game following the Florida-Maryland game, which we will talk about here in a second, at the Chase Center in San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't think they get past Arkansas, to be honest with you. I don't think they're deep enough to get past Arkansas. They're a good scoring team. They're a team that kind of seems to play. Now, they do play up to their level of opponent from time to time. They did beat Houston once this year on Houston's home court and broke Houston's 33-game home court winning streak late in the regular season, but then lost to Houston at home a couple of weeks after that. But I just don't think they're deep enough to play teams like Arkansas. And, you talk about offenses and defenses being different, like in the NFL when you go to the postseason or regular season. It's kind of the same. You shorten your bench, here in the postseason in the tournament here. And Texas Tech's known for being fairly deep, but I don't think they're going to be able to get deep down the bench against Arkansas. They're not going to get an opportunity to get down that far into the depth. So I don't know. I don't see them getting past Arkansas.
Texas Tech is a 5.5-point favorite in this game.
I know they've been favored in a lot of games this year. That just blows me away.
So you like Arkansas on the money line. That'd be good value right there. All right, there you go. There's your pick of the night from Timmy there. All right, and 7:39. So what? 4:39 local time there. Florida and Maryland will be doing it up at the Chase Center in San Francisco. I wonder what the crowd's going to look like. I understand the bracketing and all that, the different regions, but Florida and Maryland playing in San Francisco, like, Weird.
Kind of weird, isn't it?
They're like, that's chalk, 1 versus 4. Florida is a 6.5-point favorite over Maryland. Very young team, that Maryland team. Derek Queen with the 4-step buzzer beater the other day to get them into this game against Florida. Look, Walter Clayton Jr. he's the shiz. That Florida is so good on every level at everything. I think Florida rolls in this game. They're 6.5-point favorites. They survived that game against UConn, which was a really gritty game. And Walter Clayton came up with 2 huge threes late in that game. They were down Florida has not trailed much this year at all. So for them to come back in that game, and Clayton just hits big shot after big shot, they get rebounds, they defend when they have to. This Todd Golden team is really, really good. I think they have an easy time with Maryland tonight. Everybody's talking about, Sweet 16. Look at all these blue bloods, and it's great setup. Every one of these games tonight they're at least a 5.5-point favorite. That's considerable in a basketball game. These are not what I would call tight matchups, at least by the bettors lines. So Alabama and BYU get started. That's at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. Alabama 5.5-point favorite over BYU, which again, when I look at all these games, I think they're going to be competitive, but the odds makers don't really think so.
Yeah.
So Alabama, BYU at 7:09, then Florida and Maryland. That one's going to be on TBS and True TV. So make sure you have those if you're looking for the Florida game. By the way, just head on over to Riveters, where the Gator Club gathers for big events. So that place is going to be popping tonight. And that's just north of 275 on Dale Mabry there. That's the place to go watch the game tonight. They'll have specials. The food's awesome. So go to Riveters tonight to watch your Florida Gators if you're looking for a place to go. And by the way, tell the bartender or whoever you see that you heard about them on the JP show. We'd appreciate that. Duke and Arizona get started at 9:39 or thereabouts. Duke is a 9.5-point favorite in this one. 9.5-point favorite. Cooper Flagg obviously will be playing in this game. Look, Duke, they look fantastic. I don't think they're a 9.5-point favorite though over Arizona. I like Arizona. I like the underdogs in all 3 of these games to cover, maybe not to win, except Maryland. I think Florida's going to roll them. So Duke, Arizona at 9:39, then 10:09. It's Texas Tech and Arkansas. So if you've lost all your money on the early games, Timmy's saying go Arkansas.
Go Arkansas.
And Calipari in the nightcap. So those are your games for tonight. All right. So did you see this beef that LeBron and Stephen A. Smith have going on?
I saw how it started, but I don't think I've followed it very closely.
So I guess from the very beginning, Stephen A. Smith has been saying what is obvious to everyone except apparently LeBron James, that Bronny James has no business being in the NBA. He had no business being drafted. He's a 6'2" guard that averaged 2 points a game at USC.
Right.
And also, not for nothing, but it's part of the equation, had a heart attack when he was in college, the cardiac arrest. It's certainly not someone, a draft profile. If that draft profile had anybody else's name but Bronny James on it, there's not a snowball's chance in hell that player gets drafted. And there's not a snowball's chance in hell that he actually plays in the NBA. This is all orchestrated by his father, and everybody knows it. Now, of course, ESPN and everybody's going to celebrate it as this monumental, historic occasion that a father and son played together for the first time, but it's completely manufactured and manipulated. So what value does it really have as a historic moment? I mean, I agree 100% with Stephen A. Smith in this particular thing. So evidently, Bronny back on March 6th, or LeBron, walks over during a game where Stephen A. Smith is taking it in at Madison Square Garden, I believe. And he's sitting there with Larry David. And LeBron comes over and starts ripping Stephen A. Smith, basically saying, keep my kid's name out of your mouth. And does it in public where everybody can see it and record it. And Stephen A. Smith has said this. He has my number. Why didn't he call me privately and do this? There's plenty of places we all pass each other, underneath in the bowels of the stadium that are not public places, that he could come up or request an audience with Stephen A. Smith and do it privately. But clearly LeBron wanted to do it publicly. And then LeBron goes on Pat McAfee's show yesterday and ripped Stephen A. Smith. So we got a lot of ESPN crime going on here. So you have the two biggest stars, our highest paid stars at ESPN, are Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith. So now you have LeBron saying, I'm going to come on your show and rip Stephen A. Smith. And, of course, he's ripping him the whole time. And Pat McAfee and the boys are like, oh, yeah, go get him, bro. They called it the LeBron-versation, by the way.
Come on.
They had to name the segment the LeBron-versation.
LeBron-versation.
So I'm wondering, what's going on here? And I heard, was it Dan Patrick? I don't know who I was listening to, who brought this up. And they said it feels, I think it was Rich Eisen, one of the national pundits, said this feels a lot like a wrestling move.
Right.
This feels like it's a work, right? Like it's scripted. And I, given the personalities, I would say maybe not, but maybe.
Isn't everything LeBron does scripted?
Maybe.
I think so.
I mean, let's just be honest. If LeBron and Stephen A. Smith are going at it, does that increase the ratings for First Take? Sure, it does.
Which needs help, from what I understand.
Does it increase the ratings for Pat McAfee's show? Sure, it does. Sure, it does. This kind of drama sells tickets. We're talking about it. We'd never be talking about these guys if it wasn't, but it's everybody's talking about it. There was a quote, and this is LeBron talking on McAfee's show. He says about Stephen A. He's on like a Taylor Swift tour run right now, about, the confrontation that Stephen A. is on it. And then LeBron said, I started off with, I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it. MF, are you kidding me? If there was one person that couldn't wait until the video had dropped so you could address it, it was your ass. Like, seriously? So he's thinking that Stephen A. Smith is, going to town on this confrontation because it helps his ratings. Well, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? If Stu Sternberg came up to me and then we had a public altercation, verbally, of course, at a game or something, you don't think I'd be talking about it on my next show? And for the next month?
Yeah.
Of course I would. Of course I would. So I don't know. Is it fake? Is it real? I just know this. LeBron's way off base. Way off base. And Stephen A. is spot on.
The fact that LeBron is addressing it and bringing attention to it kind of confirms the whole thing, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Otherwise, he'd say, just let his play speak for him. He's earned what he's gotten, blah, blah, blah. No, he hasn't. And the person I feel the most bad for in all of this is Bronny. He didn't ask for any of this attention. He didn't ask, for his dad's help. He probably knows where his station in life is going to be. And it'll always be LeBron's kid, who wasn't as good as LeBron and as big as LeBron. Now, from what I understand, there's another brother, right? Younger than Bronny. I can't remember his name, who is bigger and maybe a little bit more of a legitimate NBA talent.
Yeah, evidently he just shot up to 6'8" or something.
Yeah.
He's really small.
So
here's something. By the way, Nathan Elliott says didn't know anything about any Smith, McAfee, or LaFlop drama. New subject, please. Yeah, you're right. Bay News 9 just reported that St. Pete just voted to delay the vote on trop repairs until next month. Well, does that mean April 3rd? I mean, was that what that already happened earlier that they were, or is it later, even later than that? No reason given.
Now, yeah.
Oh, so now to May. No reason given, but could complicate plans or make trop repairs more expensive. Wow. A lot of moving parts, man. A lot of moving parts into this. and we take the information as it comes, and I try to read the tea leaves. To me, this screams settlement. I don't think St. Pete has the stomach or the want to repair the Trop because it's a complete unknown. I mean, once you get in there, how much mold is in there? How much? I mean, are there complications to the framing of the roof? You just don't know until you start doing it. You can do all the engineering studies you want, but until you start moving things around and bolting things back, you don't know. And so I think all the delay just tells me that they're trying to find some type of settlement for the Rays. And maybe this document request yesterday that had to do with what, the county spent on repairing the Phillies training camp. Maybe that's the Rays trying to find out how much they spent on that to get a better feel for what the settlement should be from the county and the city. So I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but I think it's all related.
So the article here from Spectrum News 9 reads, a vote that would have formally greenlit repairs to hurricane-damaged Tropicana Field has been delayed until next month. City Council member Corey Givens Jr. said an email bumping the vote came from the city administrator Friday as council members were preparing to return from spring break. Givens said he felt blindsided and there was no reason listed for the delay, but fears pushing the vote even further could complicate plans or make the project more expensive. It says the vote regarding ballpark repairs is now slated to take place in early April.
Yeah, so that's the same thing we already knew, April 3rd. Yeah,
but it also says and you've talked about this already, being how unrealistic this is. The repairs to fix Tropicana Field are expected to cost the city just over $22 million.
It's more than that. I don't know where they're getting it. The original price on the roof was $56 million.
Yeah.
So are they saying that it's $56 million minus the insurance? That's just for the roof. So where they get these numbers, I know they're different numbers and it's different interpretations. That's not the bill to fix Tropicana Field. Right. It's way more than that. It's way more than $22 million. And I don't know why. Like $22 million is like maybe not even close.
Maybe that's just parts and not labor.
But I mean, if we're trying to be accurate on what we're going to write something like what's going to cost to repair the Trop, it's not $22 million. And just not.
And then there's also, so the article closes with, in a statement, Sternberg said he anticipates the Rays will be playing at Tropicana Field again starting opening day 2026. That leaves less than a year for repairs to be completed.
Yeah. That's part of their legal posturing that they want it done and they want it done by 2026 or they're going to sue. And this is them putting pressure on the city to come up with some type of settlement, right, or fix it. And that's their bargaining power. Once again, is this a good corporate partner? No. This is not the way cities and baseball teams should be going at each other. They should be looking for solutions. And there's a solution right there in front of your face. Sell the team, let them redevelop the Trop. You take your billions of dollars in profits and go. Let the city of St. Petersburg develop the Trop site like they always should have and make it whole for the Black community and do it the way they really should do it. Instead of paying a billionaire $2 billion in subsidies, sell the real estate to developers and get a hell of a lot more money and do something really important for the Black community and rebuild that the way it really should be without a baseball stadium. That's the way you make those people whole, not by giving billions of dollars to a billionaire who doesn't live here, who doesn't care about Tampa Bay, and for the most part doesn't live here, has never embraced St. Petersburg. This is and Mayor Welch has come to that realization that this is a much better way to do it. But now it's the squabble over how much more can we get out of St. Pete? What are we going to do? Just sell the team and move on. Let us take care of our business. You take your money and go. That's the way it should happen.
But here's the problem with that. No matter how much money Stu would make by selling the team, especially if he gets what he wants for it, right? What do you pay? How much did he pay for it?
$200 million.
$200 million, right? So
about $50 million was his,
and he wants $2 billion for it now, right? He's been offered 1.8 and he turned it down.
Yeah.
So he's going to make a butt ton of money
on the sale.
The problem is
not to mention all the hundreds of millions he's made already on this team.
Right. But the problem with rich folk like that is they also have rich, huge egos, and he doesn't want to, regardless of the money, he doesn't want to leave town or sell the team and then be gone with his name being drugged through the dirt like it is. He has to have that outward appearance that he won something, right? That he was the good guy in all of this. I mean,
that's
I honestly
never
think
happen.
that's true. I honestly think that's the thing.
I agree with you. I think you're 100% correct. And I said this last week. I'll say it again. He still has a sliver of opportunity. If he sold the team now and said, I'm out. You guys, we weren't able to work it out. We did some good things here on the field. Couldn't get the stadium done, but these fine people that are buying the team have got a great plan, and I wish them all the best moving forward. Thanks for the memories, St. Pete. It was a great run. Now everybody can move on, and I think he would be looked at as somewhat of a magnanimous, game-changing owner on the field, no question about it. I still think he can have that legacy. But the longer he drags this on, because the tide has turned against him. There are no more allies except maybe a few people at the Times. There are no more allies. And nobody's buying these rehabilitation pieces that are in the Times. Nobody about what a great guy. Nobody's buying that. It's a joke. So you have a sliver of opportunity here, Stu, to save face and move on and do what's best for everybody. But you drag this out into court. You sue St. Pete or Pinellas or drag out this Tropicana Field solution just to get more money out of the city, and you will be Vince Namoli, you will be Hugh Culverhouse, you'll be the worst of the worst.
Yep.
Don't do it. Sell the team, do what's right, wish everybody the best, and I think you have a chance to be remembered fondly. You keep dragging this out, it's going to get ugly. You're going to be Hugh Culverhouse. You don't want that. You don't want that legacy.
He's already got it, right?
Yeah. All right, that'll do it for today. A little abbreviated. Got to get to the airport. We'll be back tomorrow, and we'll have some shows next week as well to get you set for opening day. Don't forget, Riveters is the place to go for pre and post game. Great food, great drinks. Tell them JP sent you. Big thanks to Onsite Construction, our other new advertiser, OnsiteConstructionFL.com. Great website if you're looking to renovate or build a new home. See you tomorrow.